Hey there, YouTube. So, this will be part 8 on the Amigo build and a fix the rear suspension once and for all. Hopefully. So, in the last video we put the leaf springs on, got the body kind of painted and mounted and all that jazz, so I didn't like it. Those Trailfinder 2 leaf springs are just way too stiff. The bruiser springs in the front work better because of all the weight on the front. But those springs in the rear were just useless, and this truck's going to be more of a hardcore crawler, and it wasn't going to perform that way. So I ripped the back end off of my spare Jalan 2 chassis, took the 4-link and axle truss, and got it to work. It's a miracle. You can see here I've got the 4-link mount and truss. Top links I left exactly the same. The bottom links I flipped to the inside of the mount, and I put shorter rod ends on all 4 ends, both ends of each rod, because I just didn't have the length with this truck to, I mean, the way the rod ends are on the Jalan 2, they would have come almost to the middle or front of the transfer case, and I had no way to do that. This transfer case mount doesn't have 4-link mounts like the Jalan 2 one does. So I still had all these pieces left over from my 4-link kit for the T-Rex 60 axles, and it has little metal plates, as you can see here. I don't really know how to describe them. It bolts in 2 holes in the rail. It has an angle at the top and then one at the bottom that angles further down, and you can see down here where the bottom rod ends are. So just a little bit of work of shortening the lower rods. I got it to work. My rear drive line doesn't fall out, even that's all the way up, all the way down. I've got full range of flex. My shocks are limiting a little bit, which is good, because I don't want, before I had too much flex. But you can see it goes all the way down to the truss is on the frame rail, so that's what we want. Another thing I did, I'll show you that here in a sec. I told you in the last video the wheelbase didn't seem quite right, and apparently, you can see I've drilled new holes here for my body mounts. Apparently I didn't mark them properly and the body shifted forward. Now that I've already cut my one and only grill up to clear the the RC 4-wheel drive winch, now I moved the body back so the wheel wells line up and everything looks right. I did already cut the chassis rails, so they are a little short, but the way the bumper mounts, this is an SEX 10 bumper, and I've hacked it all to hell and made it work, and it mounts to the inside of these frame rails, so it's easy. You can just loosen up 4 bolts, slide it in and out about 1 inch either way, so that was easy to adjust to fit. Unfortunately, my front bumper, my grill, has already been hacked out to clear the winch. So I'm going to be on the prowl for a new grill. Oh, come on. So if anybody's got one out there, give me a shout. I think the Tamiya grill will work with this, as well as another red shaker grill. Ultimately, I'd like to find a Tamiya grill because I'd like to have headlight buckets and clear lenses and all that jazz, because this just doesn't look that scale. You can see where I boogered up the hood trying to cut the grill out. That's whatever. It's going to look like hell before long anyway. So I did go ahead and put the mirrors on. They're just put through with body pins holding them in, so they're all flopping around. We'll do something else about that later. I just wanted to kind of get a complete look. I got the windshield in. You can see it's been heat gunned. It's kind of wavy. It's not perfectly arched, but it fits. It works. Can't be too picky when you're doing stuff from scratch. I will do some more detail on painting these. Hopefully, I've got some extra lenses from the Trailfinder 2. I may eventually cut those off and try to hack something in, but right now I'm just trying to get it running. And I've got a battery charged here. I'm going to give this baby a quick run around the house. It's been pouring down rain again for 48 hours now. It's like 38 degrees outside and raining. I don't want to go out there and mess with it. Plus, none of my rigs are waterproof, so just going to be a quick in-the-house video driving just to see how it works, see what works, what doesn't work. It's a little troubleshooting run before we move on to the interior. Alright, well, I'm pretty happy with the drivability. I think once I get a full heavy styrene interior in there, it's going to make the rear suspension flex a lot better. I've got the battery strapped right in front of the rear axle, so it's getting some of the weight. I'm definitely going to need some kind of cage, whether internal or external, because this is all, since I cut all the support out of here to do the interior, it's pretty flexible, and the body's only attached here and here. It's touching in the front, so some of the electronics are resting up against it. So it's got a little support there, but the back's really, really soft. So we'll have to do some sort of cage in there. My front tires, these Mickey Thompson Baja claws are so big, they're rubbing on the leaf springs when I turn, so not really much I can do about that. From here, it's need to go back and check everything in the front, make sure it's tight, because I'm getting a lot of torque steer out of the axle on right turns. don't know why that is only on right turn. But yeah, I think this is gonna be a pretty good rig. That right there at the end, the last driving scene was full speed, so changing out the transfer case to a 1-to-1 really didn't make a whole lot of difference. It's still way too slow. I guess it's just the R2 transmission. The only thing I can think to do now is to try a different spur gear, which is really hard in the R2. There's just not a lot of flexibility for gearing. And if I can't seem to figure that out, then we'll have to look at different motors, which is a pain because I bought this motor and ESC and they were already soldered together. I'm not a solderer. Never was very good at that, so. But that's not a big deal. This thing runs, performs. I think it looks pretty dang cool. I was gonna call it the Amigoat. Amigoat. It's like a little billy goat climbing the step in the living room there. Does like to flop over on its top. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Thinking about getting some different wheels. Hopefully we can get a better grill, get the Tamiya grill. Get our racing seats inside, some sort of cage, scale interior, pallet full of junk we need for the trail. Maybe something to plug up that sunroof hole up top, or maybe like an open sunroof. I don't know. Some sort of sliders. Hopefully I can make some sliders to cover up those extra holes that I have on my rockers now. But anyway, yeah, that's it for this one. Just wanted to get this bad boy running, see what it can do. Thank y'all for watching, and please like, subscribe, and share, and stay tuned for more.